What's going on, everyone? It's LJ, and it's time
for a rock and metal update!
How do you do that, man?
What's going on, everyone? It's LJ, and it's time
for a rock and metal update!
Does that hurt?
No. What's going on, everyone? It's LJ, and it's time
for a rock and metal update!
I can't. I didn't think you were going to stop. Whatever we're doing here.
So what's going on, everyone? It's LJ
And Greeno.
Special guest, and it's time for another rock and metal update. This one's a little bit different. Greeno came up here, he's been on vacation and traveling around, and he decided to pop in right here in the LJ Music Room. That was stupid. What's going on, everyone? It's LJ
And Greeno.
You say your own name. What's going on, everyone? It's LJ.
And Greeno.
Of course.
Let's do it again.
What's going on, everyone? It's LJ.
And Greeno. Drinking water.
What's going on, everyone? It's LJ.
And Greeno.
What's going on, everyone? It's LJ.
And Greeno. On vacation. Dropping in to see brother LJ.
Right on. Not only did he pop by, but came by, gave each other a few records, little VCLT, and popped out and checked out a shop as well.
Found some cool stuff.
Yeah, you checked out a bunch of shops while you're in the area, right?
Probably about 6 so far, a couple more to go before we get home.
Awesome. And I have some stuff that's come in the mail in the past month or so. And, I have definitely spun it all. I'm not super familiar with all of it just yet, but definitely cool to kind of show and talk about it a little bit. And I know you've got some killer stuff that you just turned up, so.
Yep, found these today with you at Newberry.
Awesome.
First time I've been to Big Newberry, so definitely cool.
Sweet, you want to start? Go for it.
All right.
I got some killer stuff.
These are all just kind of new. First is Motor Sister Ride. And actually, Fitzy, first one I heard talking about this band. And of course it has Scotty Ian from Anthrax and his wife, what's her name,
Pearl, Meatloaf's daughter. Right?
Yep, that's her. And so I got checking it out, and definitely cool. Just a good hard rocking album. And actually it was I can't remember the name of the original band, Motor something, where they call this Motor Sister. It was like Motor Psycho or something.
And not Motor Brother.
No, I don't think so.
Because it looks cool. I didn't even know about the Scott Ian connection. I just knew it was newer, and it had kind of like an AC/DC vibe to it.
Kind of, yeah. It has like a cool, just a good hard rock album, man, actually. And I actually want to check out the original band that I can't remember the name of. But same kind of stuff supposedly. So
I definitely
found this on sale and was happy to grab it.
Does it say Scott Ian right on the sticker?
Yeah.
Oh, it totally does.
Yep.
All right, and Pearl a Day.
Yep.
And
Joey Vera.
yeah, Joey Vera and John Tempesta. I mean,
very
right there.
good, yeah.
Two more huge names. Joey's from Armored Saint, right?
Yep.
Very cool. John Tempesta, where's he from? Test your memory. I can't even
You
think
might
off
have
the
me
top
on
of my
that
head.
one. I can't either.
All right, somebody else will leave it in the comments because right now neither one of us can think of it. But yeah, Joey's from Armored Saint, but that looks cool. You know, next one for me, this is a huge grail. So over the past year or so, I mean, I've just dove head deep in the new wave of traditional heavy metal.
You and me both, brother.
Unbelievable. Like, we started with like White Wizard. I think that was our gateway
Absolutely.
into that, right? And then Renee and his channel, right, and Holtzpa Metal on YouTube. And he started showing some more things, and I don't know why, but we were both like, check it out, and then started sending each other links. And before we knew it, we were just both knee-deep in new wave of traditional heavy metal, and there's so much of it. And some killer, some not so much.
Yep.
Right, but one that I just went nuts over was Skullfist. And Skullfist is a Canadian band. Their second full-length album, Chasing the Dream, I showed maybe 5-6 months back. And then in the last update, I finally found the debut album, which was Head of the Pack. And that took a long time to track down. And they're just a killer band, but they had one more EP. It was before the first full length, and it was right there. Heavier Than Metal. And this is killer. I didn't think I'd ever hold or own a copy of this. And I mean, the second you walked through the door, you like, I honed right in on it. I was like a proud papa. Like, yes, the baby is here. It's just,
That's a killer find, man.
unreal. And there's a Greek and an Austrian pressing of this. This is the Greek pressing with a slightly different cover. And what's cool is at this point, Skullfist consisted of Jackie Slaughter, who's now back with the band, and Allison Thunderland and Sir Shred, who both went on to join Action or form Action. And now new members are in Skullfist. So there's some stuff that's on this is re-recorded on later Skullfist albums, the first and second ones. And they sound a bit different here. It's just a little different. I mean, it's kind of a thinner cover, which I don't know if that's common for Greek stuff. But man, it's just perfect new wave of traditional heavy metal.
Really good band.
It's awesome. I know you're looking to pick up some Skull Stiff.
Yeah, I'm way behind on Skullfist stuff, man.
Yeah.
I have one on CD, I think, but after seeing your discography here now, you got the whole collection, man. I gotta get on the stick.
Yeah, they got 3 out, and the next one is due out in January. So Zach Slaughter back with the band now, in January will be the next one. So keep your eyes open for that. Definitely not one to miss. Go next, go for it.
I saw these come out. They reissued a couple of their albums. These were from the 90s. It's a band called Chevy. It's Celestial Hi-Fi. And Rise Above reissued these. Stoner. Very cool band. They only had maybe 3-4 albums as far as I know. Like I said, I didn't keep up with them, but I remember having this album on CD when it first came out. And it was killer. And they're pretty pricey. And came across this one today for about $10 less than I usually see it. So went ahead and snagged it up. Brand new copy. So
Oh, that's killer. And Rise Above, so that's Electric Wizards on that label, right?
Yep, I think so.
Was or were, or still is, or so all they do is stoner stuff, right?
Heavy 70s, stoner, sound kind of stuff. Yep.
I've never even heard. So that's 2 in a row, like I've never even heard. I saw you with that, and I wasn't sure what it was.
Yep.
I didn't even realize it was on Rise Above.
Just good early, if you dig Caius and that kind of stuff,
Okay.
the 90s kind of early stoner rock. That's Chevy was kind of right in there.
I wonder if they had like that clutch sound to them.
I don't know. I don't know much Clutch, to be quite honest.
Earth Rocker. That's the only one I have,
Yeah,
and that had almost like a bit of a Caius.
A little bit,
to it.
yeah.
Not too much, but same thing. All right, so next up for me, this is the first record I owned by this band on vinyl. All of my stuff until now has been on CD and cassette, and that's Hawkwind. And I mean, the reason for that is just every time Hawkwind turns up, in the past 10 years or so, 15 years, it's just completely roached.
Lunched, roached, whatever.
You put them together, it's runched and loached, and it's expensive. But now, thanks to the vinyl boom, and we were talking about this, you know, in the car on the way to the shop, you know, it's been a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
Right, because it's given us the opportunity to finally grab nice, tight, good, clean copies of stuff for a reasonable price. But at the same time, it's driven the prices in the shop.
Right. There's so many good reissues right now. It's amazing. But like we were also talking, a lot of the stuff we're picking up never even makes it to the shop, you know. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're really into right now.
Yeah.
But you got to go online to get it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So why don't you spend more time in shops? Or not that anyone's asked that, but there's more used stuff there, and thanks to the boom, the prices are there. And that's the stuff these shelves are filled with.
Yeah.
Got it. You know, so it's the new stuff and the reissues on, you know, and stuff like this on Back in Black or High Roller that more often than not shops don't carry.
Yeah.
And so it was an opportunity to finally grab my first Hawkwind album, tight, nice, clean, mint, brand new copy, you know, for less than $20.
Yeah.
I actually think it was like 16. And this is Hawkwind, Do Not Panic. So anyways, this is Hawkwind live on the Levitation tour from 1980. And so it's side A, B, and C are from the Levitation tour, and then D was from some show in 1984. And like watching the grass grow. No, Stonehenge Decoded. Dude, that song was like beep, beep, boop, boop, beep.
Yeah.
Beep, boop, boop. Like
I've never heard
it's
that
like a bad Pink Floyd record. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I wanted to like immediately go back for track 1 because it was safe and it sounded good. So I'm familiar with them, but this is, again, my first Hawkwind record on vinyl. And it feels kind of cool, you know, to take it slow. It's like, here you go. You don't got to have all 12, all 20. They have a ton of records.
Oh my God,
it's
so
insane.
many. And when they, like you said, when they turn up, if they're in any kind of good condition at all,
They're runched.
Yeah, they're runched. They're runched or expensive.
Exactly. So that was cool. I'm just really digging this. I've spun this a few times. It's great.
That's a cool find. I've never heard that one.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll keep my eyes open for one.
Right.
Go for it.
Next, on Music for Nations, and I think this is used, but it's Prong Beg to Differ. Found it at a good price on, you know, Music for Nations. Thought I would grab it. I actually don't have this on vinyl at all, so that's why I picked it up. Have it on CD. Really dug this band. I never, again, another band I didn't keep up with much, and actually they put out an album about a year or two ago. I remember,
Really?
Yeah, it was cheap on eBay, on Amazon.
You showed that to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it turned out to be really good. It was like $8 or $10 you could pick it up, and it was a double album, gatefold, and all this, and it ended up being really good.
Oh, that's nuts. I remember you showing it.
Yeah, and it got me thinking about him again, and I've been wanting to grab this, and this showed up today. So
That's nuts. And so is that like from the 90s era?
right around,
Do you know?
89, 90.
Okay.
I don't remember the
Kind of right. Should I borrow mine?
I might here in a second. But yeah, that was late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember off the top of my head. It wasn't too far into the 90s if it was at all. But
That's awesome.
they were a cool band. They had their own thing going on.
Yeah, they were funky. They were different. There's what's some of the other bands that kind of fit in there for me with Primus. I don't know why, but when I thought Primus, I thought Prong.
Yeah, Promise had that. They had more of like that slap bass funk thing kind of going too.
Right.
These guys had that start like Helmet. Remember Helmet?
Yep.
Very much like Prong.
Yep. And they're kind of just bands that were like, not Helmet. Helmet was a little more mainstream, I think, but like Prong and Primus, there was the fringe out there. And they were on the fringe.
All the metalheads liked them, but they were kind of out there. And that's what was great about the 90s, man. There was some weird stuff happened right around 89, 90, 92, through 93 or so. There was some great bands like Warrior Soul, you know. Were they metal? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Were they alternative?
Completely
Maybe
different.
not, you know.
Yep. They definitely, I think I have two from them.
Oh, yeah.
They're in here somewhere, and one day I love them. The next day I'm like, this is the worst record I've ever heard. I can never make up my mind.
Love that band. Like the Nymphs, I don't know if you've ever heard them. They were kind of the same way. It was like a sonic rock thing. They weren't quite metal, but like I said, they weren't alternative yet. It was just a good time. There was some weird stuff.
Yeah, and if you look at the time, right, what happened, right? Grunge killed metal.
Right.
Did it? No. No, grunge
Metal
did not
killed
kill metal.
metal.
Yeah. Metal shot itself right between the eyes after.
Yeah, Warrant and Poison.
Yeah.
And they all started sounding the same. Even the thrash bands started sounding the same.
They totally did. And that's the whole second wave of thrash, which is just imitating the first wave of thrash and not even very well. So metal put a bullet right between its own eyes. Yeah. You know, if you take anything away from this video and you're not a regular watcher, stop spreading the gospel that grunge killed metal.
Yeah. Grunge had good timing. They come along right at the right time.
Everyone needs a scapegoat, someone to take the fall.
But you know, those bands from Seattle were active in the late 80s. You know, it just took a couple years into the 90s.
They did the Sub Pop stuff and earlier on. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Early Mudhoney and even the earlier Nirvana. Yeah.
But it gave bands like that a chance, like Prong, a chance to do something. Right, because they wouldn't just get snuffed out by all the stuff, all the hair metal, all the normal stuff that was going on then. But
it's kind of a shame those bands get kind of forgotten. Like Big F fits right in there.
That's a cool one. Yeah, that's very cult-like.
Yeah,
like the cult. Yeah. You sent me that album.
Probably
they had one.
Yeah.
It had a black cover with an ear on it.
That's it.
Yeah, you sent me that. That blew me away. That was a killer record.
We played the hell out of that when it first came out. Yeah, it's like, it was a good time.
I swear, that's got to be around here somewhere. Keep talking.
But, oh man, have you ever heard I Love You, that band?
No.
Another band just kind of similar to that. Really strange lyrics, killer music. They almost had a little bit of that funk kind of going a little bit in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't find it right now anyway. It's around here. It's probably up over him. I want to reach over him. All right, no, but that's cool. Definitely good. And I think you grabbed these two, right?
They should be waiting for me at home.
All right, cool. So they'll be in a future update. And these are ones, again, going back to like why is the vinyl boom so cool and why can't I help you want to hold down?
Yep.
Is because it's given us a chance to pick up albums that you never would have touched, right? And this is Slayer and SA Slayer. Because when you're Slayer and you drop a record in 1984
Yep, somewhere in there.
Okay, and there's another little band running around called Slayer. And they recorded an album, right, called Showing Where they might have an issue with this.
Yeah, I think they actually did pretty good, the other Slayer.
Yeah, I've heard stuff from them. Well, they did take issue with it, and so Slayer, and there was actually quite a while. This was released in what, 83?
Probably so.
84. The Show No Mercy was 83, so this was 84, and then this come on like 88.
It was that late?
Yeah, it was way down the line. I thought it was much closer than that.
And these guys were Texas, right?
Yep,
Okay.
San Antonio Slayer.
Duh, there you go.
No, I didn't even catch it at first either, but you know, this first one, this is a 5-song EP. And I think the only difference between the two is the guitarist changed. Bob Catlin, I don't think is on the second album. Let me find his name. No, this guy came in, Ron, you say that. And while you work on that. So anyways, I mean, the first album, I didn't know this until I was spinning it, but you have members of Blitzkrieg in here, and Harry Conklin, man, the Tyrant. He was in S.A. Slayer before they recorded.
We talked about this earlier, and I didn't know all he was telling me, but I do remember the Tyrant.
Do you?
Conklin being in there. Yeah.
Right, yes.
I knew there was a tie between the two bands. You know what I mean?
So Steve Cooper is on vocals here, and he passed away 10 years ago. And I didn't know that either, so I was reading up on it. But before they even recorded, the Tyrant, Harry Conklin, from Jack Panzer.
Yep,
right?
it.
And everything else. He was in the band. So anyways, this one is a 5-song EP. It's on High Roller. So again, huge thanks to High Roller for, taking the time to reissue this stuff and do this kind of stuff. It's just killer. And it's like, man, this one it's what you'd expect. It's like, it's raw.
Yep.
It's almost evil. It's raw. It's just got that. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to.
It's that early 80s underground Jag Panzer.
Yeah. Like the early Jag or even early Metal Church, but maybe a little more sinister and a little less polished.
Yeah, that's good.
It kind of hits right there. I mean, just look at the cover, right? You have a goat's horn, like bleeding blood, and I pull some of the stuff out of there and show that one. But I mean, my thoughts on either one. This one is kind of the same thing, but just a little more.
Right.
I got a chance to spin them both. Like as soon as they came in, they went on the turntable, and nothing does that.
I mean, we were both excited about this. Remember?
Oh yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, the update came out, and we're like, hey, they came in. I know you're taking off on vacation today, but pull back in the driveway.
Absolutely.
In order, because I'm going to show them to you when you get here, and you're going to wish you had. But they're killer.
Yeah.
They're killer. And they should be waiting for you when you get home. So spin them up.
And
Before
sure Aaron will be showing the originals or something.
Hey, because he's got them. He's got them. He has originals of everything we go crazy for.
Yep. One more picked up today. Another reissue, music on vinyl. Pretty good price. I grabbed it. Been wanting to get these. COC Wise Blood, Corrosion of Conformity cover. And actually talking to LJ, and he was like, I'm not a big fan of those guys, but you'd mentioned you'd heard the early stuff.
Yeah, I have. Like the first one, great cover, right?
Yeah, when they were more like a hardcore punk kind of thing.
Like early Suicidal kind of. It's very punky.
Yeah. But they changed big time, like going into the 90s. When this is almost like a southern groove metal is what they got into for like 2 or 3 albums. And this is definitely one that's right in there. And worth checking out. If you haven't checked out like the 90s era COC, I'm not a fan of the early stuff, and I'm not a fan of the later stuff. They just got back together, I think, with this lineup, and it's just not that good. I didn't think so. But this is killer. I mean, if you dig, like I said, it's like a groove metal, almost a stoner thing, but there's a southern element to it.
That's like a Jackal? Am I way off? That's all that comes to mind.
That's like a southern hair. You know what I mean? This is like definitely like a groove, like a Caius kind of groove, a stoner, but there's just like something southern about these.
Like if Pantera was from Georgia.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds perfect.
Go with it. No, that's it. I mean, there's always new finds, and there'll be another update coming up, and I'm sure you'll be shooting some. You must have like a stack of packages waiting for you.
I got a text from the daughter. She's saying you get way too much mail. So there's like a stack waiting.
It's gonna have to like come home and chop through it.
But definitely picked up a ton along the way. Having a great time up here in New England. It's just a beautiful part of the country. Found some great shops, some okay shops, and having a great time.
cool. And I mean, I did take a quick peek. I've not seen the stuff that he's grabbed, but I saw the boxes that hold the stuff that he grabbed. And they're what you'd expect from Brother Greeno. They're
a little out of control.
They're sizable and they ain't empty. They're not full of stiffeners, but it's been super cool having you up here, man.
It's been great
hanging
being
out
here,
for the
man.
day.
I finally get to meet. The first time meeting.
I know. I thought you were gonna say something else, but
that's it. That's all I got to say, man.
You got a chance to, it's awesome, man. I mean, after all these years talking back and forth and seeing each other's videos, to finally have the opportunity to be like in person.
Yeah.
There's so much to be said for it.
They texting like 12-year-old girls all the time.
You text like a 12-year-old.
I just can't spell.
I text like a 10-year-old girl. Which means nothing I say is important, or has any value whatsoever. But for me, it's gonna change the world.
Drama queen.
All right, I gave a big intro, so you give a big outro. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thanks for having me.
You gotta do something cool. Like send this video out. What is it? Later. You do something. What do you do?
Later.
Emmy worthy.